Good day everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we have a subscriber replay sent in by JanePrawn3. Now today he's in his ME262A1A, the infamous Schwalbe, or however you say that, Schwalbe, I don't know how you say in German. I don't actually have this aircraft, so I thought I'd just show it here. I don't know the state of his aircraft, but I think it's basically stock. He was in a full 8.0 game if I'm not mistaken. But needless to say, JanePrawn, oh boy, this guy was annoying. His name is Zerkrom, I think it is. I didn't really look, but he gave JanePrawn a lot of, shall we say, private messaging after this battle. Now, I'm no jet pilot in War Thunder. Yeah, here we are, Zorkrom. You'll see him in a bit, as well as a bit of rage from Jarrett1995. So I'll turn it over immediately to the chat. JanePrawn doesn't have a particularly good game, but it's how he does it, really. So we're going to skip ahead because there's not a lot of action that occurs. This is going to be a loss. Before I say anything, this is going to be a loss. It's funny how JanePrawn has more advanced jets than me. I just find that funny. Anyway, so I know at this point we're Toyota TSO50 2018. It is B57. It's currently screaming for the two air bases, or the bases that are directly behind JanePrawn right now. JanePrawn spots the B57 and attempts to engage it. But the B57 is a 1950s jet bomber. And it's just as fast as the 262. It's easily pulling away from JanePrawn here. She may have a full payload on board, but she is pulling away, leaving JanePrawn for dead. If he takes a shot here, it's just going to be a waste of ammo, really. There goes the first base from that B57. JanePrawn is attempting to catch up, but he's doing less than 500 miles an hour. And if we look at Toyota, what's his face? He's doing 570. He is pulling away easily from JanePrawn. And over here from the left, a second B57 has joined the party. And actually steals the base from Toyota SO50, which is pretty hilarious. This is the B57A, the only B57A in this match, I believe. Yes, it is. Sorry, no, there's two B57B A's. There's one B57B, there's a Canberra, there's mostly F-84 Thunderjets, and a couple of F-80 Shooting Stars. On JanePrawn's team, oh, he's been attacked by a F-84 Thunderjet. Obviously JanePrawn calls for backup because an F-84, I believe, can upturn the 262. Not certain. It certainly has better speed control. JanePrawn's team consists mostly of ME262A1As, a couple of Cs, a C2B, a C1A, two Horton 229s, three Arado C3s, and a 163B. Now, as I mentioned, I'm no jet pilot, but I do have jets of my own. I just don't use them. I don't particularly like jet combat. So now JanePrawn is attempting to get into the combat area. Zorkrom is currently calling for cover. And if we go to him, oh, here we go. Here's Jarrett's rage. Cancer, dude, only go for me. I hope your entire family dies of AIDS. That's a very odd insult, but I mean, whatever works. JanePrawn does the usual triggered much. And don't worry, he does the same to Zorkrom, and Zorkrom snaps like a twig against him. So right now, if we go over to Zorkrom, he's currently engaged in a dogfight, but he went vertical when he shouldn't have done, and Mr. Whitman, in his F-84 Thunderjet, just took him out. And Zorkrom is going to go mental in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He starts calling people noobs, which is ironic, which I'll show at the end of this video. And JanePrawn puts the exact same comeback as triggered much. Crimson, you are a fucking noob, literally. He didn't have a position on the F-84, buddy. And besides, the F-84 is a fast jet. It's 1948 design, I think. Jay Braun perfectly puts triggered. Zorkrom clearly doesn't understand that a 262 cannot cross the map in half a second. And he is just gonna go crazy in the chat. You didn't do anything. Yeah, you killed a single... I think he killed a F-84. No, it was an F-80. And Jane Prawn is struggling to catch these jets. But Zorkrom thinks he's Mr. Big Man. Jane Prawn now has to go for his B-57, who is currently going fighter mode on this Horton 229. Obviously, even if the B-57 was turning, it's still got higher speed than Jane Prawn. Zorkrom's still going, calling Jane Prawn specifically fucking noob, you're totally useless, things like that. He's just... The irony will appear at the end of this video, folks. Zorkrom is now accusing Jane Prawn of not fighting. No, he just can't catch anything. He's been struggling to catch those B-57s. He gets his first deflection shot, takes it, damages the B-57, and Zorkrom's still going. He's saying, I took risks, I'm saving my teammates. No, you just made yourself look like a right twat. And this guy does clearly not understand the concept of shutting the fuck up. Now the B-57 pilot is... Well, he's damaged. There's not... This B-57 pilot should have broke off, personally. Jane Prawn attempts to kill him, but I think he's running stop belts. He does some good damage to the airframe. And Zorkrom is still going in the chat, calling him so bad. And for some reason, the B-57 goes down and Jane Prawn doesn't get an assist. That's a shame, but it's only him and a Horton 229 left. He pulls it into the vertical to try and get to the F-84. And this F-80 shooting star comes right at him. He takes the F-80 out, but he loses his plane. Good try there, Jane Prawn, but it was only a matter of time, buddy. And Zorkrom is still going. So who's burning in a field for the last 5 minutes? You need to shut up, kiddo. But as Jane Prawn spirals downwards, with an engine gone, Zorkrom, you're being very ironic here. And I will go over how ironic he is right now. So I'm going to pause it right here. Let's look at Jane Prawn's stats. And I'm not calling out Jane Prawn before you start. So we'll turn off everything except for Germany and we'll go to his 262 stats. Now, he's certainly not the best 262 pilot, as we can tell here. But at least he's got half a brain cell. If we go over to Zorkrom, however, you can clearly see he has just bought the BF-19Z and rushed up the lines. And if we take a look at his MiG-15 Biz, 16 to 71. He does worse in the 163 than me, and that's saying something. And where's his 262 stats? 13 to 24. He certainly isn't the best pilot now, is he, ladies and gentlemen? And if we look, he's barely flown in RB. He just constantly flies the BF-19Z. He rushed up the lines with the P-47M. Oh, that's actually the premium F-86. I didn't even think about that. But you can clearly see that he is a wallet warrior. He thinks because he paid for something, he's Mr. Know-It-All. Well, no, actually, mate. You're actually Mr. Know-It-All, but you know fuck all. So, you've just made yourself look like the biggest tool, and you've ended up on YouTube thanks to Jane Prawn. It appears he also has the P-38K, which he's bad in. And it's just heavily ironic. And if we look at Sim, I don't play Sim, but he hasn't got a single air kill. He has negative KD in, let's have a look, pretty much all of his aircraft, from what I've been able to find. Yes, he has negative KDs in pretty much all of his aircraft. Whilst if we go to Jane Prawn, we can see he's not the best pilot in an ARB or AB, but he's a lot better in most aircraft. He has a lot more balanced stats compared to Zorkron. And I don't care if you're trying to reference Pokemon there, mate, but if you're going to try and spell Zekrom, clearly you was dropped on your head. But this guy was... Oh, sorry, this is Jane Prawn. Zorkron was just being heavily ironic. And he did less for the team. And it's just... He kept going for the last minute of this battle. Obviously, Jane Prawn is now dead. And he keeps going. He doesn't know when to shut up. He's saying now, you are dead. And you fail behind a BP-7. He had stock belts, my friend. Stock belts on a 30mm German Mk108s are entirely useless. Trust me, I'd know. He starts saying that apparently Jane Prawn was being ironic by calling him useless and things like that. You wasn't, mate. You was doing the best you could. I don't even have the 262. The only jets I've flown is the first 163, the B, and I believe the IL-28 and the MiG-9. And even I have better stats. And I'm not a jet pilot. Oh well. In fact, I have also flown the R2Y2, but I don't particularly like the R2s. But don't worry about it, Jane Prawn. This guy's just an arsehole. If he happens to watch this video, Zorkrom, leave a comment, mate. I am well happy to have a discussion with you. Because you was just being ironic, mate. I'm perfectly happy to assess both, shall we say, opinions and see where any of you is in the wrong. I'm perfectly happy to do that. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for Jane Prawn for sending that in. If you have any replays of yourself, please send them in the description below. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you all on the next one.